Most people avoid cutting giant holes in their boat, but I'm about to cut 2 of them on purpose. So I've got some future projects that need access below this deck or this top shell here, and this boat really wasn't designed for that. So stay tuned and let me show you what we got going on. So I've got to cut a couple of access holes in there. So I'm going to finish them off with some hatches. I'm also going to replace the hatches that already exist. You can tell if you look, the hatches are sun-baked. They're all dry rotted. Same thing with these horizontal ones in the front of the cockpit here. So they're all getting replaced eventually, but for right now, I just wanted to order the 2 that I absolutely need in order to install the lights that you see on the gunnels of the boat right now. I also have a re-entry ladder that needs to be installed on the stern of the boat, and I also have to get access to that as well. And this is the starboard stern of the boat. This is where I'm going to cut the hole for that hatch in the rear. You can see the other side already has one. That again is going to be replaced. What I need to get access to is to wire this LED light that I mounted on the back here. I also need to put this re-entry ladder on the back in order for us to stay ABYC compliant. And if you don't know, the Coast Guard does reference that ABYC standard as the regulation, so that is required by law. So I didn't do anything overly complicated with that. I just took some basic measurements so I could try to get this access cover in the center of the pod back here. It takes a couple of cuts to get it right, but you know, it goes in relatively easy. And I'm using a laminate trim router on that instead of like a jigsaw or anything like that. It's just I can control it better, have a better control of the depth of the cutter, and for me, the movement of the cutter. You know, so right there. So once I get it all in, I'm going to go ahead and drill some pilot holes. I highly don't recommend that you just go trying to jam a screw through fiberglass and gel coat without a pilot hole. So once I got all the holes drilled, I go ahead and I'm just going to temporarily seal this so I can have it mounted and installed. I'm just using regular silicone, nothing crazy, no 4200. And some people might want to critique me on that, but I honestly don't think it's necessary. This surface and this access itself is very rarely going to make contact with water. I mean, at best, it's just going to keep the splashes out and any kind of moisture or condensation built up on it. And I really don't want it to be an adhesive fit. I want it to be easily taken back apart. I'm still unsure if I'm going to re-gel coat the entire boat or if I'm just going to do pieces of the boat. But also, again, I'm in Southwest Florida, so this is eventually going to get baked up by the sun and it's going to need to be replaced again. And I don't want to go prying 4,200 off of that when I have to go to replace it again in, you know, the next 10 or 15 years. And when I go to mount this, I'm just going to make sure I press it firmly against there, make sure the surface is clean, and then I'm going to start the screws. And that does it for that hatch. I'm just going to go ahead and put the cover on it, and we're going to head on to the forward deck of the boat. And if you like this kind of content, go ahead and head over and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. You can turn the notifications on so you know when we have a new episode. So what you didn't notice there in that time lapse, because it was so fast, was I removed all those old snaps from the old cover that was on here before I started cutting this off. You're going to see in a future video or two, I'm going to show you how we're going to patch those holes up. And like I'd mentioned, we're going to probably end up doing a brand new gel coat job on this. So again, with this hatch, same as the one in the back, I'm going to pilot hole the screws, drive the screws home after I put a little bit of silicone on there to have a nice seal. And there you have it. Both the hatches are in. They're sealed up nice. We'll have a little bit of cleanup to do at the end here, but we're ready to start running wires. I guess stay tuned for the next video. We're going to show you how I'm going to pull the wires for the fishing lights.